Something extraordinary has been discovered in the vast dark space beyond Pluto's orbit. A celestial giant that may be as large as Earth is approaching our solar system after thousands of years of isolation. Brought to you by renowned American scientist Mike Brown, the revelation promises to transform our understanding of the solar system and ignite imaginations around the world. As we stand on the threshold of a new astronomical era, the question arises, will we finally confirm the existence of Planet 9? Imagine a planet so far away that humans haven't discovered it for thousands of years, in the shadows beyond the known boundaries of our solar system. Now it's on its way back, and we may be witnessing one of the greatest astronomical discoveries of our time. Mike Brown and Konstantin Batygin study of strange orbital anomalies in the Kuiper Belt. Mathematical proof of the existence of Planet 9 using computer simulations. The future role of the Vera C. Rubin Observatory in the final confirmation of Planet 9. Historical parallels with the discoveries of Uranus, Neptune and Pluto. Alternative theories involving Kuiper Belt objects, KBOs, to explain the observed anomalies. Something strange has been discovered beyond Pluto's orbit and it's getting closer. A planet that may be the size of Earth will return to our solar system in thousands of years. At least that's what American scientist Mike Brown claims after finding evidence of a ninth planet in a distant region of the solar system. This planet can be in an orbit that takes it beyond the limits of the solar system for thousands of years until it returns. The question of whether there is a Planet 9 in our solar system has puzzled scientists for decades. One of them has now managed to prove it. California Institute of Technology planetary astronomy professor Mike Brown and his colleague Konstantin Batygin are already studying strange objects hidden in the Kuiper Belt. Two scientists have noticed some strange things. The dwarf planets in the Kuiper Belt show exactly the same orbital anomalies that have already led to the discovery of other planets such as Neptune and Pluto. Mike Brown is also known in expert circles as the Pluto killer. Brown was instrumental in the decision to classify Pluto as a dwarf planet in 2006, thereby removing it from the official list of planets. Since then, strictly speaking, Pluto is only a trans-Neptune object. This means that the Planet 9 website has been empty for almost 20 years. However, the myths and legends surrounding the second planet go back much further. There have always been rumors of Planet 10, Planet X, or some strange world that only appears every few thousand years. Now we have a breakthrough, and if Mike Brown is right, Planet 9 is headed our way right now. Brown and Batygin provide evidence. The Planet 9 hypothesis received another extreme boost in 2016 when scientists Brown and Batygin studied the unusual orbits of 6 trans-Neptunian objects. Trans-Neptunian objects, or TNOs for short, are a group of objects that lie outside the orbit of Neptune. These TNOs show some kind of agglomeration in their orbits, indicating the presence of a massive body due to its gravity. This object puts a kind of depression in the orbits of small TNOs, and their orbits later converge strikingly. The target could be the 9th largest planet. Brown and Batygin worked for years on detailed mathematical models and carefully collected all available information about TNOs and their peculiarities. Extensive computer simulations then showed that the body they were looking for, if it is a planet, is about 10 times more massive than Earth and should orbit the Sun in a highly elliptical sequence. This orbit would be $400 to $800 from the Sun, which explains why the planet has not yet been directly observed. One orbit around the Sun can take this planet for up to 20,000 years, and its highly elliptical orbit takes it well beyond the boundaries of the solar system. This meant that it was simply not visible to previous generations of scientists and astronomers. The old astronomers could only see as far as Saturn with their simpler telescopes. Uranus did not become visible until 1781 thanks to better telescopes, and Neptune did not become visible until 1846. The myth behind Neptune has existed for as long as another mysterious planet has existed in our solar system. Today we know that the Kuiper Belt originates beyond Neptune. The ribbon is about 3 billion kilometers wide and contains more than 100,000 individual objects. These regions of the solar system are already so far from the Sun that there is almost no light left. Even with modern telescopes, scientists struggle to spot minor planets or other strange objects like Arrokoth. Because the ninth planet is so many thousands of years away from the Sun, it would be very faint and difficult to see even with modern telescopes. Until now, Brown and Batygin have relied on circumstantial evidence and have already succeeded in mathematically proving the existence of Planet 9. Now the scientists are pinning all their hopes on the new telescope, which should start operating in a few years. Will the Vera C. Rubin Observatory find Planet 9? The existence of Planet 9 has already been mathematically proven, now we have to find out exactly where this planet is hiding. A telescope should be able to do that. The new True C. The Rubin Observatory is currently under construction in the Chilean Andes. With its brilliant new technology, this telescope scans the night sky in record time and could end the search for Planet 9. With its 8.4-meter telescope and lightning-fast wide-sky scanning, this telescope will never be lost again. Even very dark objects in our solar system. According to the initial plan, the Vera C. Rubin telescope will observe the movements and patterns of TNOs even more closely until the regions where Planet 9 is currently located can be determined. Brown and Batygin have already clearly narrowed down the areas, and hope that definitive proof will be available in a few years. Can you imagine that there are even more planets in our solar system that we didn't know about until now? We look at the edges of our solar system and find more and more alien stuff. Just 100 years ago, no one would have believed that the Kuiper belt contained tens or perhaps even hundreds of dwarf planets. Occasional anomalies in the orbits of known planets such as Brown and his team in TNOs have led scientists to believe that there must be other planets in the system. In the mid-1800s, Urban Le Verrier and John Couch Adams were working just as Brown and Batygin are today. In the mid-1800s, astronomers noticed that Uranus had deviated from its predicted orbit, suggesting that it was being influenced by an unknown mass. Urban Le Verrier was a French mathematician and astronomer and a pioneer in the study of Uranus. He began to study the anomalies in detail from 1845 and, through complex calculations using Newton's theory of gravity, came to the conclusion that another planet existed. Around the same time, the English mathematician and astronomer John Couch Adams concluded that another planet existed independently of Le Verrier. He also detected the presence of a planet in the deformations of the orbit of Uranus. Finally, Le Verrier managed to make an almost exact mathematical prediction about the location of that unknown planet, and soon after, the German astronomer Johann Gottfried Galle was able to see Neptune very close to Le Verrier's predicted location. This discovery was a triumphant demonstration of the power of mathematical astronomy and is often used today as motivation to continue the search for Planet 9. A few decades later, a man named Percival Lowell became interested in the possibility of another planet. Neptune. He named this planet Planet X. Lowell's hypothesis was again based on irregularities in the orbits of Uranus and Neptune. Convinced that the gravitational influence of an unknown planet was to blame, Lowell spent the rest of his life searching for Planet X. Although he did not discover the planet itself, his work laid the foundation for the discovery of Pluto. A young astronomer, Clyde Tombaugh, joined the Lowell-founded observatory in 1929 and had a successful career in 1930. Tombaugh used a photographic sky where he photographed the night sky and studied changes in the images. On February 18, 1930, he found two moving objects 6 days apart on two photographic plates. Soon after, it was clear, we have Planet X, and today we know this object as Pluto. The discovery of Pluto was another stroke of astronomical genius. Now, another 100 years later, some scientists are again looking for a planet that no one has seen before, but whose influence can be detected by astronomers. The 19th century example of the hypothetical planet Vulcan shows that this kind of astronomy does not always lead to success. In the 19th century, astronomers noticed a deviation in the orbit of Mercury. The exact position of Mercury deviated slightly from the predictions based on Newton's theory of gravity. Again, it was Urban Le Verrier who suspected that an unknown planet between Mercury and the Sun could be responsible for these orbital anomalies. He named this hypothetical planet Vulcan. Many astronomers then searched for Vulcan, and some even claimed to have spotted it. Despite many reports from around the world, Vulcan has never been conclusively proven. Anomalies in Mercury's orbit remained an unsolved mystery for a long time until Albert Einstein published his general theory of relativity in 1915. Einstein's theory describes how massive objects bend spacetime, affecting the motions of the planets. Einstein showed that the gravitational influence of the Sun, which is particularly strong near Mercury, bends spacetime to such an extent that it could explain the observed deviations in the orbit of Mercury. An additional planet was not needed in this case to explain the anomalies. Are KBO's Planet 9? Are you already looking forward to the day when Planet 9 gets confirmation and the first images? Well, that victory is still not so certain, because some scientists have shown that orbital deviations can be explained in other ways. KBOs, or Kuiper Belt objects, are a special subclass of TNOs and are located in the Kuiper Belt, a ring-shaped region that extends approximately 30 to 50 Australian dollars from the Sun. The best-known KBOs are the dwarf planets Pluto, Haumea, Makemake and Eris. These objects are composed mainly of frozen materials such as water, ammonia, and methane, and they vary in size from small deformed pieces of rock to large dwarf planets. There are theories that suggest that KBOs may themselves cause orbital anomalies observed in the outer solar system. These theories do not require a hypothetical ninth planet. They are based on the idea that the gravitational effects of many KBOs, especially the more massive ones like Pluto and Ericsson, can together be sufficient to explain the unusual orbits of trans-Neptunian objects. Computer simulations and mathematical models have shown that the collective gravity of these KBOs can be strong enough to influence the orbits of smaller TNOs and cause the observed clusters and anomalies. Click subscribe now and wait for many new exciting videos.